They say the Constitution is outdated. They say it's flawed, written by imperfect men from another century. They say it's just an old document, a relic, a piece of paper sitting behind glass in Washington. But here's the question nobody ever answers. If it's just a piece of paper, why do powerful people spend so much time trying to work around it? You see it everywhere once you start paying attention. Rules bent instead of followed, emergency powers stretched until they snap, rights reinterpreted, redefined, rewritten in language so thick with legal fog that the original meaning gets buried somewhere beneath the paperwork, not destroyed outright, just slowly suffocated. Because destroying the Constitution openly would be dangerous. People understand what that means. The Constitution isn't just a document, it's a limit, a line in the sand drawn by people who had just finished fighting a king. Those men had lived under a government that could search your house, silence your speech, imprison you without trial. They knew exactly what power does when it runs wild, so they wrote something radical, a rule book that didn't give citizens rights, but recognized rights that government was forbidden to take away. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to defend yourself, protection from unreasonable searches, due process, trial by jury, limits on federal power. It was messy, imperfect, but it did something almost no government document in history had done before. It put chains on the state, and power has hated those chains ever since, because power always wants more room to move, more surveillance, more control, more authority justified by fear, war, crisis, safety. Every generation gets told the same story. This time it's different. This time we need to bend the rules. This time the Constitution is inconvenient. But here's the funny thing. If it really were meaningless, if it truly were just ink on parchment, no one would bother fighting it. No one would spend decades trying to reinterpret it. No one would argue endlessly about what it means. You don't try to dismantle something that has no power. The reason the Constitution is constantly attacked, redefined, chipped away at, is because it still stands in the way. It's a stubborn reminder that government authority was never meant to be unlimited. That power in America was supposed to flow from the people upward, not from the state downward. And that idea, even after more than 2 centuries, still makes powerful people uncomfortable. So the battle rarely looks dramatic. No tanks rolling through the streets, no official announcement that the Constitution is canceled, just small changes, little interpretations, temporary exceptions that somehow become permanent, rights slowly shrinking while the language around them grows more complicated, death by 1,000 legal cuts. But the Constitution was never meant to defend itself. A document can't do that. It depends on something older than the paper itself. The belief that limits on power are worth defending, because once those limits disappear, history has shown us exactly what comes next. So when someone shrugs and says the Constitution is just a piece of paper, you might want to ask them something simple. If that's true, why do so many powerful people work so hard to get around it?